Ooh, part two. Hello again, everybody. Trust you're doing as well as you possibly can be. The first video should be up and published in the next few moments, but as I mentioned, I wanted to cover another topic today, something that I feel is quite relevant considering the amount of idiotic, pathetic intrusion that me personally have experienced over quite a considerable amount of time, but also something that the targeting and the people that conduct the targeting program against us wholeheartedly rely on to keep the chosen individual, the chosen target, in a hypersensitized state and completely focused on their oppressors and the targeting that they are experiencing. And what I'm talking about is I'm talking about triggering. Now, a lot of people will know what triggering is. A lot of people will probably have heard the term triggered, or you've been triggered, or that's one of your triggers, but don't really understand basically what it is. Triggering is a very, very simple thing to understand. It's basic human psychology. It's like human psychology 101. You know, it's the very, very basic form of how a human's brain reacts to certain stimuli, good and bad, negative and positive. But what the targeting program actually relies on is because there are so many horrendous, horrific events that are forced upon the chosen victim on a 24/7, 365 basis. The events just keep coming. Effectively, they will need to keep you, and they have to keep you for them to succeed in basically destroying you. Is they need to keep you in that highly sensitized, paranoid, fearful, isolated state. And the way they do that is by one, continuing with the disgusting, filthy, cowardly antics of targeting, which comes in many forms and many disgusting ways. But what they will want you to do is they will want to be able to trigger you to prior events that they have carried out against you by triggering you to said event. So basically, triggering is just literally it's a prompt in your brain that reminds you of an event that has taken place in the past. No rocket science, very, very basic. One of the things that I am and have been seeing recently is there are so many people that are going round and round in circles saying, oh, they're doing this, and oh, they're doing that, and oh, they're doing, you know, and it's all down, a lot of it comes down to the individual, the chosen target, being triggered from about an event that has happened prior in their targeting. Like I mentioned, you know, targeting is a basic human response to an event that's happened, and it comes and it happens from a very, very early age, and it happens all the way through life. Silly things that trigger me, that personally are things like music tracks, certain tracks that were playing on radios at the time where certain events were happening, numbers, pictures. Anything and everything could be utilized as a trigger for an individual, or could trigger your memory back to an event that has taken place. When you are talking about being triggered within the targeting program, those triggers take you back to places that you really do not want to remember. Hence the reason why it is so essential that they manage and keep you as triggered and as focused on their bullshit as they possibly can. Now, first of all, what you need to do is you need to understand what a trigger is. You need to then learn and realize what your triggers are. You then need to understand and learn that they are meaningless. They have no meaning. They will only affect you if you allow them to affect you. I mean, it's a triggering of an event that has happened in the past. The past is the past, and the future is the future. No, we cannot live as targeted people in the past. That's where they want you to remain. That's where they want your mind to remain. But for you to actually be able to move forward within your life and be able to live alongside your targeting, which is so essential, you need to be able to move forward. You need to be able to look to the future. You can't change what's happened in the past. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about the situations that you've been confronted with, or the events that you may be triggered back to remembering. But there is something that you can do about your future. There is something that you can do about moving forward, not only within your own personal life, but also moving forward, living alongside. At this moment in time, it's the only way. Living alongside your targeting. It's the only way. You need to live two separate, different little lives. The targeting will follow you, and it will keep itself around you like a stinky fart. There's nothing you can do about that. But you can learn to understand what the targeting is all about. You can learn to understand the psychological aspects and the goals that they are pushing to achieve with you through their targeting. It's all about moving forward. Now, I've just previously posted a video about the Targeted Individual International TI Day event outside Broadcasting House, BBC Broadcasting House, on the 29th of August, which I'm hoping as many of you will find the courage to be able to not only attend, but become part of a community that we are so desperately needing to be unified here in the UK. You know, the targeted community here in the UK is so sporadic and is so segmented. You know, we need unification if we are to move forward as a community. If we are to be able to help individuals that are in certain levels and times within their targeting that most of us, or a lot of us, have experienced before, surely being part of a community, being part of a unified front of people that have experienced many things over many years could be such a help and such a benefit to people that have less knowledge and have less experience about what is happening to them and how this shit has plagued them and their life. Triggering is a very basic form of it's basically what it does is it reminds you of the shit they put you through. It reminds you of the times when, for me personally, you know, when I was laying on hospital beds through poisoning events and all of this sort of stuff, you know, stuff they done to Ted and stuff they done to Dean and stuff they done to me. You know, I don't allow the triggers to affect me anymore. I'm not saying I don't get triggered, because that would be an absolutely stupid comment to make. But what I can say is that I know and understand what my triggers are. I know and understand the psychological impact that a trigger can have on an individual, and I also know and understand that they mean fuck all, nothing, absolutely nothing. It only means something if you allow it to mean something. Do not give it the power, do not give it the focus that they are demanding you give it. The more you ignore, the easier it is for you to move forward with your life. The more you focus on them, the more you allow yourself to be triggered and sensitized and left in a hypersensitive state, focusing on only them 24/7, you are going to have a very rough road ahead. We need unification. We need people to be able to help and advise people that are going through tough times and times that we've experienced or many people have experienced before, and the only way we can do that is by building a network of targeted people in the UK and becoming a unified community, which is what I'm hoping will happen at the latter stage of this year after the event. Just a short video, just to give you a little bit of knowledge and experience, and my personal experiences from being triggered and what triggering is and how you deal with it, how you understand it, and how you move on from it. Stop dwelling in the past and start looking to the future. You can either remain part of the problem, or you can become a piece of the solution. moving forward as a unified front, as a unified targeted community here in the UK. We don't need leaders, we don't need presidents, we don't need, obviously we need people to organise and put things into action, but we need to become a community of men, women, children that are being affected by some of the most disgusting, foul treatment that a human should ever have to endure. We shouldn't have to deal with this shit. We shouldn't have to put up with this shit. Individually, as I said in previous videos, you are not, isolated, alone, in fear. You're fucked. As a unified front, as part of a network, as part of a organisation with vast amounts of knowledge and experience in dealing with this shit, you've got a far better chance of coming through this as unscathed as you possibly can. It's time to stand up. It's time to say enough is enough. Or alternatively, you can remain isolated and alone going through this on your very very own person. It's up to you. What we're trying to do, what I'm personally trying to do, the amount of effort and time and work and money and heartache and emotional distress that I put myself through on behalf of the targeted community, most of you would never understand and probably would never even, and most don't even appreciate. But I still remain, I still keep doing it, I still keep moving forward. Now this event is a little bit of a, the event in August is going to be a little bit of a benchmark for me, because as I mentioned in the previous video, I will be putting my heart and soul into making and trying to make this event and trying to bring as many targeted survivors together for the TI Day event outside Broadcasting House in London in August. I will put my heart and soul into it, and I will do whatever I can to try and make this the biggest, most successful and largest gathering of targeted and non-targeted people here in the UK. This is so needed. This has been needed for such a long time, but there's been so much division and so many arguments and so many overinflated egos from people that have got their own specific personal agendas that they're working to. Now the time for that is finished. The time for that is over. We need to unify. We need to stand up against the tyranny that we are faced with. We need to stand up against this domestic terrorism network that is being allowed to function and is being allowed to destroy innocent human beings and animals' lives here in the UK at will, at their leisure. That time needs to stop. That time is over. We need to stand up for what is right. We need to stand up for our human and civil rights that have been so blatantly and slyly taken away from us in every conceivable respect. Now's the time. It's now or never for me. Because if this event doesn't pan out the way that I'm hoping it will pan out, after the amount of effort, time and emotional turmoil that I am and have and will continue to put into this up until the event, if this doesn't work out, then I'm done with arranging meetups. I'm done with arranging targeted individuals and trying to bring communities together, and I will carry on my own. I will continue with YouTube, I will continue with Targeted UK, but when it comes down to unification, I mean, it can't be a one-sided battle. It can't be a one-sided thing. This has got to be a two-way street. Now, if you don't want to come through to me for any reason, please go through and contact Mark Williams, either through YouTube or through Facebook. He's done videos. He's got videos up on his channel about the arrangements that he's making and we're making as a combined effort for the event in August. So if you don't want to come through to me, you don't want to be a part of Targeted UK, go along with Mark. go along with Mark Williams, and we will all be there as a one unified front on the day. I mean, I have no malice towards anybody apart from the people that are conducting the targeting, who I despise with all that I am. I've only ever wanted to help, which is what I'm hoping that I've achieved over the years that I've been on YouTube and arranging events and putting associations together to try and alleviate some of the darker sides of the targeting from you people. I can only do what I can do at the end of the day, but you've also got to understand the turmoil and the effect that it has on me as an individual person, and how I deserve to be able to move forward in my life. As a unified front, that will be fantastic, and I will be there beside every one of you for as long as you are willing to stand together. Singly, on my own, it's about me, myself and I, I'm afraid. And I will be moving forward in my life, and I will be focusing on other things other than targeting. You know, I've put my time in more than a lot of people have. The effort and the time that I have given to the targeted community, I dread to think how many hours and days hard work that I put into trying to help the targeted community. Now it's your turn to show your appreciation, not only for the efforts that I've done, the efforts that Mark's doing, the efforts that other people have done for the target community, but the effort you need to put the time in for yourself, because this is not going to go away. Now, I want as many of you to turn up on the 29th as conceivably possible. We need as many targeted survivors, targeted and non-targeted people, to turn up to show solidarity for the targeted community, and to show the establishment that we are not willing to continue to be persecuted and victimised and ignored by the very same people that should be and take an oath to protect and serve us as innocent members of the UK public. I'll do my part. I will continue doing my part unless I start seeing some comeback from the other way, you know, unless I start seeing some really positive moves and people showing up in numbers for the event in August. As I say, that side of my activism will stop overnight, dead. It's an opportunity that you've all got to show yourselves and show other survivors, and show that you want to be part of the solution. You want to be part of the community that is so drastically needed here in the UK. But it needs to be a unified front. It needs to be a combined effort from all and every one of you. I suppose that ball I will leave in your court, and you will all make your own decisions on whether you want to be part of the solution or remain part of the problem. That decision ultimately is yours. So I will leave you to the rest of your bank holiday Monday. I trust you're all having a lovely weekend. It's a beautiful sunny day down here in Sheerness. I'm just about to go off and have a workout and before the gym shuts, and I'll catch up with you all again at some stage in the next week or so with another video. I will be doing periodic update videos for the event with as and when details and further information needs to be put out for you all to hear and to know. But obviously I'll carry on with my own weekly update videos, and of course it's time. Anyway, so with that, or I'm working out. Oh look, a sweat patch. Anyway, people, that's enough. I will hopefully get back to you at some stage in the next week or so with another video. I've got a busy week coming up, but I'm sure, as always, I will fit in time to put my weekly video out there because I know that so many of you find it helpful, find it useful, and so I'm gathering a lot of you look forward to it. So I'm not going to let you down on that front. Please understand and listen to what I've said in this video. You know, this is the only chance that I'm going to be putting out. This is the only opportunity that I am going to be willing to put my heart and soul into, to try and produce the final result, which will be a network, a community of people that have come together in aid and support of all and everyone that has been affected by the targeted individual program here in the UK. Stay well, people. Stay defiant. Stay strong. Big shout out to all of my viewers, subscribers, targeted UK members, etc, etc, etc. Attendance is needed so drastically for this event. Anybody that wants any details about the event or any details about anything, please feel free to email me, shane@targeteduk.com, and I will respond, as I do each and every one of you, as and when I can get around to getting back to you. So that sums up what I wanted to go through in my second video today. 2 in 1 day. Flipping heck. And I haven't even mentioned the T word. You know, the T word. Just ignore them mofos, the same as you ignore the other shit that we're confronted with. Don't give them the time of day. So that sums up what I wanted to go through in my second video of today. I'm done, I'm out, and I'll see you all again real soon with another video. Stay strong, stay defiant, and I'll catch up with you all again real soon. Take care, bye for now.